Hi, in this video, I will show you why I generally do not recommend my clients to claim capital cost allowance or tax depreciation on their rental properties when they own it personally. Hi, my name is Sam. I'm a Canadian CPA. I used to work for a Big Four accounting firm as a tax manager, and now I run my own tax practice. I'm just here to share my tax knowledge and tax experience with you. So when you have a rental property that you own personally, you will have to complete this schedule on your T1 personal tax return. This schedule is called Statement of Real Estate Rentals, T776. So here you will report your rental income, let's say $100,000. And then in part 4, you can claim relevant expenses such as advertising, insurance, interest, and bank charges, and so on. And if you scroll a little bit further down, there's an Area A, calculation of capital cost allowance or tax depreciation. So here you can actually add the cost of your building, not land, just the building, and then claim a portion of that cost as an expense. So in this case, we have $500,000, and then we can claim about 4%, which means we can claim $20,000 this year. And if we go up, we have $100,000 of income less $20,000 of CCA. Therefore, our net income is only $80,000. And if we go to our T1 general, that's exactly the amount that we will report here. Rental income, $80,000. That means we only have to pay tax on this amount instead of $100,000. Now, that sounds good because you will have to pay less taxes, but here's a reason why I generally do not recommend my clients to do that. So let's open the Excel, and let's say we have annual income of $100,000 in year 1, and then year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, and then in year 6, we will sell this property. Then we will claim the CCA. CCA stands for Capital Cost Allowance or Tax Depreciation. Let's assume that we can deduct $20,000 every single year. Now, you generally deduct 4, 6, or 8% of the UCC balance, but just to keep it simple, let's just assume it's $20,000 every single year. That means our taxable income is $80,000. And let's assume our tax rate is 25%. That means our tax expense is $80,000 times 25%. And then our after-tax income is $80,000 less $20,000. We can also calculate the tax benefit we receive by claiming the capital cost allowance. And all we need to do is take the average tax rate times CCA. So in this case, it's $5,000 every single year. And let's add a total column here. So as you can see, over 5 years, we actually saved $25,000 in taxes. That sounds great, right? But what happens when we sell it? Let's say in year 6, we sell the property at the same price or higher, hopefully higher because you want to profit from it. What will happen then? Well, let's go here. Let's say the original cost was $500,000. And then we claim CCA over 5 years, so our accumulated CCA is $100,000. So then our undepreciated capital cost, UCC, is now $400,000. Let's say we sell it for $500,000. The difference between $500,000 and $400,000 is not a capital gain. When you have a capital gain is great because right now with an inclusion rate of 50%, only half of that is included in income. So anything above $500,000 will be treated as a capital gain. So let's say you sold the property for $700,000 and your original cost was $500,000. So that increase of $200,000 is treated as a capital gain, which is great. However, in this case, the difference between $500,000 and then UCC is treated as a recapture, and recapture is treated as an income. So that means in year 6, you have $100,000 of annual income, and then you have to add a recapture of $100,000. So now your income in year 6 is $200,000. And because your income shoot up from $100,000 to $200,000, your average tax rate will also go up. So let's say your average tax rate now is 35%. And then your expense for that year will be $70,000, and your after-tax income is $130,000. So what was the additional tax on this recapture? Well, let's do the same thing. 35% times $100,000. And as you can see, we are actually worse off by $10,000, even though we claim $100,000 in CCA, and then we included $100,000 of recapture. This netted to zero, but our tax netted to negative $10,000. Now, you can make a case that by having extra $5,000 every single year, you can reinvest back into your business or your properties and generate more than $10,000. That's totally fine. But most people miss this or don't understand this. And they get surprised when they see a tax bill in year 6 when they sell it while they claim CCA for the first few years. Now, it's a different story if you're in the highest tax bracket. Let's say you will always pay 50% because you always have high income. In this case, let's change this to 50%. You will notice that the tax benefit is zero. So it doesn't matter whether you claim CCA or not. In fact, you can benefit by claiming CCA because you can use this extra cash, this $50,000, to generate more money. That concept is called time value of money. Even if you claim it and then put into a high interest savings account or GIC, you'll be better off that way. So that's why I usually do not recommend to most of my clients to claim CCA because they're not in the highest tax brackets. When they are in the highest tax bracket, then it's generally more acceptable to do so. You should take all factors into consideration, whether you want to claim CCA or not. I just wanted to explain this concept to you so you will be more informed when you make this decision when you file your taxes. If you found this video useful, please share with someone who you think can benefit from as well. See you in the next video.